There is something your person understands now, perhaps more clearly and deeply than they ever have before. They see you for who you truly are, recognizing that you are unlike anyone else they have ever crossed paths with in this lifetime or any other. You stand apart, singular in your essence, irreplaceable in your being. They have come to realize, through painful lessons and hard-won wisdom, that you cannot be swayed by manipulation, by clever games, or by words that carry no weight beneath their surface. With you, there are no shortcuts to connection, no back doors into your heart. Truth, raw and unvarnished, is the only key that will ever open the door to genuine communion with your soul. Your person knows now that if they wish to gain your attention once more, if they hope to earn even the smallest place in your heart again, they must approach you with complete honesty, unwavering sincerity, and total openness. Anything less than this would crumble and fall apart in your presence, dissolving like shadows before the morning sun. You possess the rare and precious ability to see beyond facades and illusions, to peer through the masks people wear and perceive the truth that lies beneath. This gift of yours, this piercing clarity of vision, means that only authenticity will ever reach you. Meanwhile, you are moving forward in your life with determination and grace, refusing to remain frozen in uncertainty forever. You have chosen forward motion over stagnation, growth over waiting. Their lack of communication has weighed heavily upon you, creating a burden that has at times felt almost unbearable. It has left you frustrated, swimming in confusion, and in your most difficult moments, even struggling with doubt about what was real and what this connection truly meant. The silence has tested you in ways that few things ever have. Yet despite this painful silence that has stretched between you like an ocean, they desperately want you to understand something crucial. Their absence, their quiet withdrawal from your life, was never, not for a single moment, about a lack of caring. It was never about indifference or about forgetting the profound bond you shared. Instead, this pause in communication was absolutely necessary for reasons that go far deeper than surface circumstances. They needed time, precious and difficult time, to reflect deeply on themselves and their patterns. They needed space to analyze the complex tangle of emotions and fears that had been holding them back. They needed to confront their own inner struggles, those shadowy corners of the soul that we all carry, before they could reach any real conclusion about what they truly wanted and needed from this connection. Your person wants you to know, with absolute certainty, how much they value the extraordinary patience you have shown throughout this entire journey. Your endurance through the silence, your willingness to give them the space they needed to work through their process, and your refusal to give up completely on what you shared together has not gone unnoticed or unappreciated. In fact, your patience has been one of the few guiding lights that has led them through their darkest nights, through the moments when they wondered if they would ever find their way back to themselves or to you. When they made the difficult decision to walk away from your connection, it was not because they lacked love for you. Quite the opposite, actually. They walked away because, in their heart of hearts, they did not feel good enough to stand beside you. When they looked at you, when they witnessed your strength radiating from within, your fierce independence, and your unwavering authenticity, it made them turn inward and question their own worth. They feared, deeply and genuinely, that they could not meet you at the level you deserved, that they could not match the intensity of your light with their own. Rather than risk holding you back with their insecurities, with the unresolved wounds they carried, they made the painful choice to step away. That decision, though it caused pain for both of you in ways that words can barely capture, gave them the opportunity they desperately needed to face the parts of themselves they had long ignored, avoided, or pushed down into the depths of their being. During this time of separation, they have engaged in deep, often uncomfortable inner work. They have confronted old wounds that had been festering beneath the surface for years, perhaps even decades. They have faced insecurities that had been shaping their choices and limiting their capacity to love freely. They have examined old patterns, those repetitive cycles of behavior that once kept them from fully embracing love in its truest, most vulnerable form. Through dedicated healing, profound self-discovery, and genuine personal growth, they now feel more prepared to return to you, to this connection that has never stopped calling to their soul. Their heart longs intensely to resolve the complicated situation that exists between you, to untangle the knots that formed during your time apart, and to rebuild what was lost, but perhaps this time on an even stronger foundation. They do not expect any of this to be easy, nor do they assume in their presumption that you will welcome them back without hesitation or questions. They understand that trust, once fractured, must be carefully and patiently rebuilt. Instead of expecting an easy reunion, they simply want the chance to explain their side of the story, to share with you the truth of what has unfolded in the hidden chambers of their soul during your separation. They want you to see, really see, that their absence was not abandonment in the way it may have felt to you. It was transformation. It was a chrysalis stage, necessary and painful, that had to occur before they could emerge ready to love you the way you deserve to be loved. Your person holds a belief deep in their core that this separation, as agonizing as it has been, was part of a greater plan orchestrated by forces beyond your immediate understanding. Both of you needed to embark on solo journeys, each walking your own distinct path of growth and healing without the other's presence to lean on. Though it was painful beyond measure, this distance created the necessary space for true transformation to occur. It allowed both of you to shed old wounds that you had been carrying for far too long, to release patterns that no longer served your highest good, and to rise stronger, more whole, more authentically yourselves than ever before. They now see this time apart not as a tragic ending, but as preparation for a reunion that will be all the more powerful because of what you have each experienced alone. By healing individually, by doing the solitary work that only each person can do for themselves, you are both being guided by divine timing toward ultimately coming together as more balanced, more whole, and more aligned versions of yourselves. The reunion that awaits, when the time is finally right, will be between two people who have done their inner work rather than two wounded souls seeking completion in each other. At the same time, your person is acutely aware that the uncertainty has been heavy for you to carry. They sense your doubts lingering like shadows at the edges of your mind. They feel your fears about whether this connection is real or just a beautiful illusion. They perceive your quiet wonderings late at night about whether they will ever truly return, whether their words of love meant anything at all, or whether you have been holding on to something that was never meant to last. They feel the weight of your questioning heart, and they understand completely why you might need to guard yourself, to protect your tender heart from further hurt. Yet even knowing this, they ask for your trust. Not blind trust, not naive trust, but a deeper trust in the unfolding of something greater than either of you individually. This journey you have both been on, as difficult and painful as it has been, is not meaningless. It is not random suffering without purpose. It is about patience, about learning the profound lessons that can only be learned through waiting. It is about healing wounds that go back further than this connection, perhaps even into childhood or past generations. It is about personal growth that transforms you at the deepest levels of your being. It is about ascending to higher levels of love and consciousness, rising above the wounded ways of relating that so many people remain trapped in throughout their entire lives. Only after traveling through these necessary stages of growth, only after walking through the fire of transformation, can the two of you reunite in the physical world with the stability, maturity, and depth of understanding required for a lasting union. The kind of sacred partnership you are both meant to create together cannot be built on the foundation of who you were before. It requires who you are becoming through this process. This is undeniably a process, one that cannot and should not be rushed, no matter how much your hearts may ache for immediate resolution. Healing takes the time it takes, refusing to be hurried by human impatience or desire. Transformation does not happen overnight, no matter how much we might wish it would. It unfolds in layers, revealing itself gradually, asking us to trust in timing we cannot always understand with our limited human perspective. Your person wants you to remind yourself, especially in moments of doubt, of how far you have already come on this journey. Take a moment to think of the strength you have discovered within yourself, strength you might never have known you possessed if this connection had not called it forth from the depths of your being. Consider the independence you have cultivated, learning to stand firm in your own power rather than seeking validation or completion outside yourself. Reflect on the courage you have gained, the bravery it takes to love deeply while also honoring your own needs and boundaries. Think about how much you have healed, not only in your present circumstances but also in the deeper wounds that stem from childhood experiences and past relationships that left their mark on your heart. All of this progress, all of this growth, all of this transformation has been sparked and accelerated since you crossed paths with your divine counterpart. Meeting them ignited within you the flame of the twin soul journey, a path that forces both people to evolve beyond who they were, to heal what has been broken, and to ascend to higher levels of consciousness and love. This journey has not been easy for either of you, and both of you have felt the weight of its challenges pressing down on your shoulders. You have both walked through valleys of shadow and doubt. You have both questioned whether you could continue, whether the pain was worth it, whether you were strong enough to keep going. Yet with every challenge you have faced, you have grown stronger. With every silence you have endured, you have been called to deepen your trust in yourself and in the divine timing of this connection. Nothing has been wasted. Every tear has watered the seeds of your growth. Your person knows that words alone may not erase the pain of the past or dissolve the frustration of their absence. They understand that actions and consistency over time will be required to rebuild trust. But they hope you can see the larger picture emerging from the chaos. They want you to recognize that this journey was never about rejection, though it may have felt that way in your darkest moments. It was about preparation, about both of you becoming ready for what you are meant to create together. The universe, in its infinite wisdom, required both of you to face yourselves fully, completely, and honestly before you could face each other again in a way that would be sustainable and healthy. You each needed to look into your own mirrors and do the work that only you could do. Now, as they stand on the other side of significant inner work, having walked through their own fire of transformation, they long to reconnect with you. They want to come forward with clarity they did not possess before, with honesty that has been earned through self-examination, to express their love without the fear that once held them back, and to work with you in resolving what once felt impossibly complicated. They are no longer running from their emotions or trying to escape the intensity of what they feel for you. They are no longer doubting their worth or questioning whether they deserve to love and be loved by someone as remarkable as you. They want to rebuild not just a casual relationship, not just a surface connection, but a sacred partnership rooted in truth, in balance, and in mutual healing. They want to create something with you that honors both of your journeys and the transformation you have each undergone. And so, while you may still feel the uncertainty of the unknown stretching before you, while you may still have questions that need answers and wounds that need tending, your person asks that you trust the unfolding of this divine process. Trust that everything you have endured, every tear you have cried into your pillow at night, every moment of painful silence that felt like it might break you, has served a higher purpose beyond what you could see in the moment. Trust that your growth has not been in vain, that the strength you now carry within you will guide you wisely through whatever comes next. Most importantly, trust that this journey, though it has been long and winding and often more painful than you ever imagined you could bear, has been leading both of you back toward each other, not away from each other into separate lives. The path has circled and spiraled, but it has always been drawing you closer to the reunion that awaits. You are not the same person you were when this began, when you first felt the recognition of this soul connection. Neither are they. And that is exactly as it should be, because together, after all of the healing and transformation you have each undergone, you now have the chance to create something more powerful, more authentic, and more lasting than what would have been possible before. ## the depth of longing. Please do not misunderstand what I am about to share with you, but I need you to know that it has been one of the most difficult things I have ever experienced to stand on the sidelines and watch your growth without being an active part of it. I see you changing day by day, evolving into new versions of yourself, and stepping with increasing confidence into the person you are meant to be. And while witnessing this transformation fills me with genuine pride and admiration for your strength and courage, it also leaves me with an aching emptiness inside that I struggle to describe. I want so badly, with an intensity that sometimes overwhelms me, to be there alongside you, walking with you through every moment of your journey, celebrating your victories no matter how small, and offering comfort when you face challenges. But I also know, with painful clarity, that I cannot hold you back anymore. I cannot allow my own timing or my own process to become a weight that slows your forward momentum. You have grown wings, beautiful and strong, and it is clear to anyone paying attention that the whole world is beginning to notice your light shining brighter than ever before. Of course, I want nothing more than for you to be happy, to flourish in ways that bring you joy, and to thrive in ways you once only allowed yourself to dream of in secret. That has always been what I wanted for you, because I love seeing you live fully and unapologetically, embracing all that life has to offer you. But the truth that I must confess is that I cannot help but feel like I am missing out on such a crucial part of our journey together. There is a deep sadness that comes with realizing that while you are stepping courageously into this beautiful new chapter of your life, I sometimes feel stuck in place, waiting for my chance to catch up to where you already are. Some days it feels as though you are slipping away from my grasp, as if no matter how hard I reach out with desperate hands, they close on nothing but empty air. And in those moments, all I can do is sit still in my powerlessness, watching it all unfold before me, wishing with everything in me that I could be closer to you. I promise you with all the sincerity in my heart, I am moving toward you as quickly as I possibly can. My heart races to meet yours, beating faster with every step I take in your direction. But your pace feels quicker than mine, almost like you are being carried effortlessly by the wind itself while I am still learning to walk without stumbling. And I know deep down, with a knowing that sometimes breaks my heart, I cannot expect you to wait for me forever. I know I have held you back before with my fears and hesitations, and I never want to be the reason you hesitate or slow down your own growth ever again. I do not blame you at all for surging forward with such determination. In fact, I admire your courage more than you know, your willingness to keep moving even when the path ahead is unclear. But even so, even while I celebrate your progress, I find myself missing you in ways that words barely capture, in ways that echo through every moment of my day and night. While the world may want pieces of you, little fragments of your energy, your presence, your brilliance, I have realized something important. I do not want just pieces of you. I want all of you, completely and wholly. I do not want to stand in line with everyone else who reaches for just a fraction of your time and attention. I want the unguarded version of you, the whole you, the real you, the version of yourself that exists in quiet moments when no one else is watching and you can finally let down all your defenses and simply be. At night, when the world grows quiet and I am alone with my thoughts, I find myself reaching for you in my sleep. In my dreams, you are there, close enough to touch, and everything feels right and whole again. For so long, I never used to remember my dreams upon waking. But lately, they linger in my mind, refusing to fade. They stay with me, etched into my consciousness when I wake, vivid and achingly real. And then reality sinks in with cruel swiftness. You are not here beside me. That realization hits me like a punch to the gut every single time, stealing my breath and leaving me hollow. I will confess something vulnerable to you now, something I have not shared with anyone else. Sometimes, in my loneliest moments, I clutch my pillow and pretend it is you. I hold on to it tightly, wrapping my arms around it as though they could trick my heart into believing you are close, that I can feel your warmth and your presence. And on some nights, the emptiness overwhelms me completely, rising up like a tide I cannot hold back. There are tears that soak into my pillow, there is pain that radiates through my chest, and there is a hollow ache that words cannot quite soothe or explain. It is not that I doubt us or doubt the reality of our connection. I do not. It is simply that I miss the nearness of you so much that sometimes it spills over and I cannot contain it any longer. There are so many layers to me that I have not revealed yet, depths of who I am that I have kept hidden, perhaps out of fear of being truly seen, or perhaps because the timing was never quite right. Now though, I want to share them with you. I want to show you the rawest parts of myself, the corners of my soul that no one else has ever touched or even glimpsed.